Hello, and welcome to the Bacon Academy Student News. I'm Trey Archambault.
And I'm Lexi Besson.
Coming up on today's top stories, the LMC is donating to libraries affected by Hurricane Sandy. A Harvard doctor turns felon after the lure of insider trading. And youth HIV rate is high while testing is low.
So Trey, what's going on here at Bacon?
The LMC will be collecting donations to help libraries affected by Hurricane Sandy. Our donations will be matched by First Book, the American Federation of Teachers, and the Albert Shanker Institute, so that every dollar will be tripled. For every $2.50 raised, 3 books will be provided from First Book to help children affected by the storm. Donations will be accepted from November 28th through December 5th, before school in the main foyer, during lunch, in the cafeteria lobby, and in the LMC.
The independent music group will be performing and selling baked goods on Friday, November 30th in the cafeteria at 7 p.m. All proceeds will go to the American Red Cross. Tickets are $3 advance sales during lunchways and $5 at the door.
Interested in joining the United States Navy? Petty Officer Clark will be in the guidance office on Thursday, December 13th at 10 a.m. for any students interested in learning more about joining.
For all you National Honor Society members, there will be a meeting tomorrow before school at 7:10 in room 2141. Also, there is a Diversity Club meeting on December 4th in room 1119 at 2:30.
The next time you're craving grapefruit juice, you might want to think twice if you take any prescriptions. The number of common prescription drugs that can interact with grapefruits with potentially serious or even fatal results is on the rise. Researchers from Western University report that grapefruit juice can interact with more than 85 oral medications, including certain cholesterol-lowering statins, cancer medications, antibiotics, antidepressants, pain medications, heart drugs, and other widely used pills.
$7 used to get you a hearty lunch. Now, a cup of coffee at Starbucks, just when you thought that $4 was expensive enough. But it's not just any coffee, but a grande-sized cup of Starbucks New Costa Rica Finca Palmera. The price is based on rarity, demand, and green coffee prices. A Starbucks spokesperson states, "This coffee is not widely available, so like an opportunity to try a wine where there is limited production, demand is high." Here's Alexa Gagas with your thoughts.
Do you drink Starbucks?
Yes, I do.
Did you know that a new Costa Rica coffee is coming out and it's going to cost $7? Would you buy it?
I didn't know that, and no, I wouldn't. Wait, is it by the pound or by like a cup?
Buy a grande cup.
Oh no, I would not buy that.
I would. I went to Costa Rica and the coffee was delicious.
Harvard doctor turns felon after lure of insider trading. Today, Scowron, 43, is serving a 5-year term for insider trading at the federal prison at Minersville, Pennsylvania. At Front Point, Scowron lied to his bosses and law enforcement authorities, costing more than 35 people their jobs, and stooped to slipping envelopes of cash to an accomplice. Front Point is gone. Morgan Stanley, which once owned Front Point, is seeking more than $65 million from Scowron, whose net worth a year ago was $22 million. Until he's a free man, his wife of 16 years will have to care for their 4 children and Rocky, their golden retriever, on her own.
A toy helicopter controlled by nothing but brainwaves could be available to the public just in time to hover under this year's Christmas tree. As you focus your mind on something, whether it be a math equation or the lyrics to a song, your brain produces electric signals, explains Steve Castellotti, CEO and co-founder of Puzzlebox, the San Francisco-based company behind the project.
Americans between the ages of 13 and 24 accounted for more than a quarter of new HIV infections in 2010, about 12,000 cases. But only a third of that age group has ever been tested for the virus, the CDC reported. This is our future generation, and the bottom line is that every month 1,000 youth are becoming infected with HIV, said Dr. Thomas Frieden, director of the agency.
Monster Beverage Corporation, the largest U.S. energy drink maker by sales volume, rose the most in more than a month after Goldman Sachs Group Incorporated said a Food and Drug Administration response to questions over the safety of energy drinks was encouraging. The FDA is employing the help of outside advisors to determine whether the beverages may cause harm when consumed in excess or by those with pre-existing cardiac conditions.
A group of homosexual men are filing a lawsuit against a therapy group named Jonah, or Jews Offering New Alternatives for Healing. The lawsuit claims that Jonah used extreme and unusual tactics to change the sexuality of males. Although many groups claim they have successfully changed sexuality, many scientific studies say otherwise.
Think twice before you open another can of Coke. A new study that found a higher prevalence of diabetes in countries with high level of fructose corn syrup in their food supplies came under attack before it was even released Monday, highlighting the rising controversy over sweeteners and the role they play in the nation's health. The study found that type 2 diabetes occurred 20% more often in countries where high fructose corn syrup was in common use, compared with countries where it was rarely or never added to food.
Finding an endless supply of energy has been one of the holy grails of scientific research. And although one still doesn't exist, scientists are now shifting their focus to energy efficiency and energy recycling. New technologies that can harness the body's heat, movement, vibrations, and more could soon allow humans to generate their own electrical currents. The possibilities are limitless. Some devices already in the works are a piezoelectric battery that could power a pacemaker for a lifetime, as well as a shirt that you could use to charge your gadgets when you produce friction from walking.
For some world news, Sydney's famous beaches, popular with surfers, looked more like a scene out of a horror movie today. For some world news, Sydney's famous beaches, popular with surfers, looked more like a scene out of a horror movie today when the waters were stained blood red from algae bloom. Bondi Beach, as well as nearby Covally Beach and Gordons Bay, were closed while authorities tested the water. Beaches were reopened when the sea sparkle began to fade.
A New Zealand volcano that neighbors a mountain best known as Mount Doom for Lord of the Rings films has rumbled back to life. Mount Tongariro, situated in a remote part of the country's North Island, erupted for 5 minutes on November 21st, spewing clouds of ash 2.5 miles. Tongariro had erupted for the first time since 1897. Although the recent activity seems to have ebbed, scientists have predicted that another eruption of similar size will occur within the next few weeks, according to the New Zealand Herald.
Thousands have stormed the streets of Cairo in protest of their president's expansion of powers. Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi has extended his power during the country's political transition when they elect a new parliament next year. Many gathered around a trade group headquarters as well as a tent city in Tahrir Square. Protesters and riot police lobbed rocks and tear gas at each other as attempts by the parliament to calm the violence have failed.
A star is slowly snuffing the life out of an alien planet. But in a macabre twist, material stripped from the dying world's atmosphere has become a death shroud, enveloping the gas giant and its star. First discovered in 2008, WASP-12b is a so-called hot Jupiter, a gas giant planet orbiting extremely close to its parent star. Now it is disappearing.
You won't believe it until you hear it. An elephant in Korea has recently been trained to speak like a human. He can pronounce multiple Korean words using his trunk to shape different sounds. The elephant can say hello, good, and sit down on command. The 47 recordings of the imitations were played to native Korean speakers who'd never heard the elephant before. They were instructed to simply write down whatever they heard. They knew they were listening to an elephant, but they didn't know what they were supposed to hear, explains Stueger, whose study appeared recently in the journal Current Biology. But even to human ears, the words were readily understandable and transcribed. You can find the videos of the elephant online to hear it for yourself. I'm Lexi Bisson.
And I'm Trey Archambault.
That's all for today for Wednesday, November 28th.
Please join us again tomorrow during lunch for the most reliable and up-to-date news.
And remember that you can watch us online at youtube.com/BA Student News.